yummy mummies and mummies to be, yummy daddies and daddies to be. Welcome back to the Maternity Diary. If you're new here, you are welcome to this amazing family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for continually supporting all our videos. So today I wanted to talk about something really important to me, and I feel like as parents we are always striving to be the best, but sometimes we do make mistakes. Unfortunately, a lot of parents sort of brush off the mistakes that they make to their little kids, their babies, their kids. And for me, where I come from my culture, the parent is always right regardless of what happens. So if you're the parent, you make a mistake or you wrong your child, just because the parent is always right, they don't acknowledge, or it is not acknowledged that they have done something wrong, and will definitely not apologize if the parent is always right. And so one thing I strive to do for my kids, even though they are still toddlers, they are young, is I ensure that I am apologizing to them when I need to apologize. When I make a mistake, when I do something or I hurt their feeling, I make sure that I'm apologizing to them, because I want to be able to instill a certain culture. Okay, I teach them to apologize to each other, to apologize to their friends when they err them. And so I believe that I need to be a good example to my kids. If I want them to be apologizing to people when they hurt them, then I should also apologize to them when I hurt them. And so this is why I'm doing this video, especially for colored people like us who are not used to apologizing to our kids. I just want to use this video as an opportunity to explain why I apologize to my kids. And number one thing, I apologize to my kids because I want to be a good example to them. If I'm telling my kids one person grabs something from another or offends another, and I'm like, apologize, they do apologize to each other. So if I do something wrong to them, or they feel like I have done something wrong to them, I should be able to tell them, oh, I'm so sorry, and if you know me, even when my kids were babies, if let's say I make a mistake on them, like they can't even speak, and I make a mistake, I quickly say, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I am quick to do that because I want to be able to encourage that with my kids. Number two reason why I apologize to my kids is because I want them to know that expressing remorse, okay, it's not a weakness, it's actually a strength. And so my aim is to ensure that I am letting them know that if you are apologizing to someone, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you are actually strong. You are amazing. And so that is another reason why I apologize to my kids. The next reason I apologize to my kids is so that I can show that I am committed to improving. Okay, because most of the time when I ask my children to apologize or to each other, or I expect an apology from them, I don't expect them to just say, I'm sorry, and that's it, without trying to improve on what they did that caused that pain or hurt. And so for me to apologize to my kids, I want to show them I'm committed to improving, doing better. So if I did this and they were hurt about it and I apologized to them, then I am actually making a commitment that nope, I'll try not to repeat this anymore. The next reason why I apologize is to make sure that I am in a position where I'm requesting for understanding between us, because sometimes, trust me, these kids, they want you to apologize for something that you were doing that was right, that it's supposed to be good for them, but they don't understand why this is not good for them, okay? And why you said, no, you cannot have this, no, you cannot have that. sometimes they do not understand. So this actually gives me an opportunity to be able to reason with my children, to come to an understanding, okay, of why I said no. So usually, let's say if my son, let's say, wants this is not something that's ever happened before, but let's say he wants candy, or in the maybe at 9 p.m. on a Friday, because they sleep late on Fridays, and he comes in and says, oh, I want, no, he doesn't tell me that. Okay, so let's say he comes to me and says, I want a candy, and I'm like, nope. And then he goes, I'm doing some cleaning around, and then before I know it, he has candy in his mouth. Immediately I grab it from him, and I'm upset. I'm like, no, why did you take the candy? Did I not tell you not to take the candy? You know what I mean? And in a situation like that, let's say I do that, usually kids get hurt when you approach them like that, you scold them that way. So immediately he becomes hurt, and then I feel the need to apologize for the way I have handled it. So I go to him, I'm like, I'm so sorry, my baby. I'm sorry that mommy shouted on you or scolded you. I'm sorry I grabbed the candy from your hands. I'm very sorry. I should have done it gentler. I'm really, really sorry. And then I go on to explain why this action, why he shouldn't have done what he did, the consequence of his action. That first of all, mommy told you not to do it, yet you went ahead and did it, and this is wrong. You need to obey mommy, so you must also apologize to me because you did not listen to mommy. You know, that is an understanding that I'm building with my child, even regardless of how old they are. And then I go on further to explain why I didn't want him to take the candy in the first place. Because your teeth will be affected, and you will have to go to the dentist, and you will have to take off your tooth, and all of that, all the unanswered stories that we have to say to them. But I feel like apologizing actually sets the pace for me to come to an understanding with my child on why I did something, or why I did not want them to do something right from the beginning. And personally, apologizing actually helps to build trust with my kids, you know. So I feel like it's a core part of building a healthy relationship with your child. And so I make sure that I'm apologizing when I need to apologize, and I do not hesitate to apologize. Honestly, when we take our time to acknowledge our mistakes, even to our kids, and we acknowledge the hurts that we caused them, you would see that our kids will now begin to feel like, oh, my feelings actually matter. So that when they go to the outside world, they know that my feelings matter. I do not have to hide how I feel about this. You get what I mean? Yeah. And it's important for us to take responsibility also, and empathize with their emotions. It teaches them the power of communication, actually, with compassion, because many times we would not want to apologize as parents. We feel like we're right, we don't have to apologize to our parent, and then at that point, like, you are not empathizing with their emotions. You end up having a child who is emotionless, and so now when they hurt somebody at school, they do not care to even apologize. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that to you, I'm sorry I hurt you, I will not do that again. Yeah. So as parents, we really need to be leading by example. We need to show our kids how to build deeper connections from conflict and from disagreement. Because honestly, every time I apologize to my children, I get to a point where we begin to build deeper connections. Our connections are deeper because now they understand where I'm coming from. I have apologized to them, so they feel that validated, that okay, mommy was wrong, but she apologized to me. So the next time I also do something wrong, I should be able to apologize to mommy without hesitation. Some of the phrases that I use when I'm apologizing is to say, oh, I'm so sorry I did this. Thank you so much for helping me to see how my reaction hurts you. I'm very sorry and I love you. That's an example. Another example is, I am very sorry about what I said to you. Please feel free to always openly express how you feel. I'm always ready to listen and to make things right between us. And so, yeah, I thank you so much for allowing me to address this. So it's a sensitive topic, especially for people of color like us who feel like parents always have to be right. A child can never be right. And I want us to continue to do better as parents. Let's continue to strive to be the best parents that we can be, starting from our home, starting from being an example to our kids. Let's create a loving and nurturing environment for our little ones together. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. In fact, before that, have you ever had to apologize to your children? Or was there a time you were supposed to apologize to your children and you did not, and you tell me in the comment section? I want to see your comments on this one. And what do you think about this generally? Should parents be apologizing to their children when they go wrong, even if they are not necessarily wrong but the child feels hurt? Should parents be apologizing? Please tell me in the comment section what you think about this. And until next time, don't forget to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. And never ever ever forget that God loves you. See you next time on the Maternity Diary.